So, Alexis, of course, you're an investor in so many things, but I know that Lolli is really important to you. What do you think is so unique about this in-store earnings experience?
One of the things that I've been obsessed with from my very first investment in crypto, which was seeding Coinbase back in 2012, is the user experience. And something that Lolli has pioneered is bringing this accessibility in the form of cashback through online shopping to so many people, delighting them. And so it just made sense, especially as the world is, now moved out of lockdowns, to make it even easier for people to earn Bitcoin, just simply going through their normal purchasing habits. And Card Boost is a great way to do that.
Alex, tell us how it all works and how popular you expect it to be, given that we're in a downturn. Bitcoin's now back below 20,000. And, we've just got a lot of questions about the future of the economy.
Yeah, it's a great question. We're on a mission to save people money, and that money happens to be Bitcoin, which we believe is the best money in the world. We save people on average about 7% on every transaction and upwards of 30%. So as we most likely go into a recession, it's more important now than ever to be saving money at all your favorite places. And with the launch of this new Card Boost feature, we went from 1,000 merchants to over 10,000 merchants that you can earn from.
Alexis, what is your outlook on the markets right now, given what we're seeing across tech shares, what we're seeing in crypto, the high inflation numbers? Jamie Dimon just said he thinks the markets are going to fall another 20%. How are you thinking about where this is going, and how is that impacting your investment strategy?
Well, I think you hit the nail on the head. There's a lot of uncertainty right now. And in a way, products that are countercyclical because they're offering opportunities for consumers to save money tend to do better in times of this kind of economic uncertainty. And so that certainly factored into why we were so excited about Lolli. And I think broadly, look, the big advantage to being an early stage investor, working with CEOs from the very start, is no matter what the macro picture looks like, it is always a great time to be starting a company, and almost more opportunistic during times of this kind of volatility and uncertainty, because it sobers up a CEO to have to focus on making something that people genuinely need, genuinely want, that have viable business models. And so in a way, it's not that I look forward to these times, but I do think they bring out the best in new entrepreneurs who are solving real problems. And we have a lot of real problems that need solving. So we're still active, we're still busy investing. And obviously, I want to see this economy, get its legs back under it. But I agree, it's going to take time.
What are you telling founders right now? How are you telling them to navigate choppy conditions?
Have a lot of keep cash on hand, focus on reducing burn, and really isolate your focus of the company around not just growth at all costs, but real scalable growth. Focus on things like revenue. Focus on it's not going to be about the story of how quickly or how much you grew in the next 6 months, a year. It's about how much you were able to accomplish with the money you had, and ideally to get yourself in a cash flow positive situation as soon as you can, because then you're ultimately controlling your own destiny, and it's not up to you, or it's not up to other investors whether or not you get to the next round. And what's exciting is the companies that ironically don't need those outside sources of capital are often the ones that have the most luck fundraising during times like this. And we've really enjoyed seeing the trajectory of Lolli and have doubled down, and excited to see it keep growing.
Alex, talk to us about how many people are using Lolli, the demographics, and how they're actually using their rewards, or are they holding their rewards?
It's a great question. So we launched 4 years ago, and we've already brought on over 500,000 users that are earning Bitcoin. These are across web with our Chrome extension and mobile with our new mobile app. So a lot of users where we are their first experience into crypto. And that's what we want to do. We want to teach people about Bitcoin. We want to teach people about the importance of this new world that we're entering into, and save people a lot of money in the process. Right now, some of the most interesting statistics is that over 30% of our users are female. When I first in 2018, when I was first starting Lolli with my co-founder Matt, what we found was that less than 4% of crypto users were female. And so we're very proud to share that we're seeing a dramatic increase given the nature of our business.
That's great to hear. Thank you for sharing that. Alexis, I'm curious for your outlook on crypto in particular as the market downturn continues. Bitcoin, for example, we're seeing slightly lower volume. Yes, less volatility, but the lower volume is kind of a red flag. What's your outlook for Bitcoin and for the broader crypto market, beyond startups and other places where you're investing?
Well, look, I have now been investing and building through multiple crypto winters. This is the time when the very best products are getting built, when a lot of the charlatans and the hype have exited the building, and the folks who are left are the folks who are genuinely building and solving real problems. And so the next test for this next cycle, for us to get to the next crypto spring, which I do think will come, is really going to hinge on user experience. We have an opportunity now to really expand the base of folks who are finding value in this technology. Bitcoin rewards are one way. And I think what's so interesting about it is we're also talking about in the process of just having a Lolli account, basically being given your first crypto wallet and through a really elegant user experience. And e-commerce, or even now brick and mortar commerce, is something we all do. Here's some cash back. It just happens to be in the form of a cryptocurrency, Bitcoin. And I really believe 5-10 years out, we're going to continue to see more cycles. This is going to play itself out all over again. But every single time we hit a new level of folks who are bought in, who have found utility, who have found value. And I'm like I said, I'm long-term still very, very excited. There will continue to be volatility, but this is the exact time to be building. If you're a long-term believer in the tech, everything's on sale right now, and I think some great user experiences are going to get built in the next few years.
So last quick question to you, Alex, then. If Lolli is a gateway to this first wallet for so many new users, more women users, hopefully, how are you playing out a market downturn, a potential, a lengthened crypto winter into Lolli's business? How long does this last in your view?
Yeah, so as Alexis was saying, businesses that save people money do very well in recessionary times. Our last company, my co-founder and I's last company, was acquired by Rakuten, formerly Ebates, which had its biggest growth years during the last recession. So if we think, if we can follow that same path, save people more money and bring on more incredible merchants, continue to build new technology, we're going to do very well through this recessionary time and this bear market. Because people are coming into Bitcoin with Lolli and getting it for free, they don't have to risk investing in it. They're just shopping as they normally would at their favorite merchants and getting it back. So it really is a risk-free way of getting into crypto and continuing to dollar cost average into Bitcoin.